Okay, so what we are going to discuss on today is the hypertensive retinopathy. So, as the name insists, disease in the retina it is caused by the hypertension. So it is either basically there is an increase in blood pressure either because of a systemic condition or when there is a constriction in the arteries of the retina. So these are the two major causes where we get a hypertensive retinopathy. Okay, so this is how we get into. So first we'll just see the pathophysiology behind how hypertensive retinopathy is getting developed before seeing its sign, classification, etc. So once I finish the pathophysiology, just have a read about how a pathophysiology of hypertensive retinopathy is. So once then we can go on for how a classification and what are all the signs and symptoms. Okay, so as I said before, hypertension is usually it is an uncontrolled high blood pressure which will eventually cause a severe health problems like cardiovascular disease, or there might be a stroke, and there might be some other ocular conditions as well. So the most common ocular problems because of hypertension is the hypertensive retinopathy, the retinal vascular occlusion, then the optic neuropathy. So in this we are going to discuss on the hypertensive retinopathy today. Okay, so what is hypertensive retinopathy? It is a condition characterized by spectrum of retinal vascular signs in people with elevated blood pressure. So things which you have to look into in case of a hypertensive retinopathy is the branch retinal veins and the branch retinal arteries. Okay, so just a second. So these are the two things which majorly gets affected, and in turn we get cotton wool spots, hard exudates, etc. So here is where your basic changes starts in case of hypertensive retinopathy. Okay, so patient with hypertensive retinopathy will have their retinal veins and retinal arteries getting affected. So how does they get affected? So usually there will be a coming to the pathophysiology, it is a vasoconstrictive changes. So what will happen is there will be a sudden constriction of a blood vessel which we called as a vasospasm. So this actually reduces the overall diameter of a vessel. So there is which is going to reduce the flow and increase the pressure inside the blood vessel. So this is the starting point, and this stage is seen clinically as a generalized narrowing of a retinal arterioles. Okay, this is where it's all starts. Okay, so what is arteriosclerosis? It is actually a thinning of the narrowing. So which is led by, how does the narrowing of a blood vessel occurs is when there is a thickening of a the cell wall. So the retinal vessel wall. So there will be a thickening. So how does they thicken is due to hyperplasia. Hyperplasia is enlargement of a blood vessel, or thickening of a blood vessels due to higher cell division or cell growth. So that is what hyperplasia means. Due to hyperplasia there will be increased in cell numbers, and then organs get enlarged. So that is where there will be a thickening, and then there will be a increased in size with narrowing. So this is how it actually occurs. So if you see in this particular image, this is how a normal retinal artery looks like. When there is a arteriosclerosis, in arteriosclerosis stage, there will be a thickening. So there will be a increase in the diameter of the retinal artery. So there is an increase. So this thickening is called as a sclerosis. Okay, sclerosis. Here we call it as a arteriosclerosis because arteries are getting sclerosis because of a thickening. Okay, so this is how it is going to happen. So you might think how the it is like only the outer wall is getting thickened. So how is it going to have a effect on the blood flow which is flowing in the inner side? So which we will be just discussing about in the upcoming slides. Okay, so look here. So whenever there is a thickening, it is going to decrease the inner dia as well as the overall dia of the arteries will also get increased. So this is how a lumen side, the lumen is the hole inside. So how there is a decrease in the lumen size. So this is how the blood pressure is increasing. So what will happen when there is an increase in the outer dia? So usually arteriosclerosis will be can be found by two clinical things. One is a nicking, which is a overlapping of a blood vessels. One is a copper wire sign. So we will just look into what are those two. Okay, copper wire and wiring and silver wiring is when there is usually a blood vessel will have a blood and then it is pinkish in color, whereas in case of a silver wiring appearance, the retinal arterioles look white as if they have occluded. So that's how when there is an occlusion, so when there is a too much narrowing, so just look at this. So here there is a narrowed blood vessel. So here when it becomes too much thickened, and then if the entire passage get closed, then there is an occlusion. So that is a place where we get silver wiring. In case of copper wiring, when there is a almost partial occlusion, so there will be a reduced blood flow. So the retinal arteries will appear oranges or yellowish instead of red. This is how a copper wiring and silver wiring looks like. So these are the major signs of a occlusion and hypertensive retinopathy. So what is nicking? Nicking is whenever there is an overlapping of arteries over the vein. Okay, arteriovenous nicking is here. If you see, there is a crossing point. So what will happen here is this this artery which is passing over the vein is actually occluding the entire vein. So this will block the blood supply further. So that is the reason why nicking is a major issue. So here is where again your outer dia thickening is going to matter. So just look into this. Is a advential sheath. Advential sheath means it is a outer layer of a connective tissue. Okay, so here is the artery, here is the vein. So in this case, arterial thickening occurs in case of a hypertensive retinopathy. This is how a normal blood vessel is going to look like. When there is a arterial hardening, both the inner passage is getting reduced as well as there is a outer thickening. So what will happen here is when it keeps thickened, this pressure is going to be exerted in the vein here. So when there is a overall thickening, so the passage of the blood within the vein is going to get decreased. So that is the reason why how a AV nicking is going to be play a major clinical significance role. So this is how it happens. Okay, so this is a major consideration which you have to look into whenever you look into. So there is something called as ARVO and uh, BRVO. So here it is like BRVO is branch retinal vein occlusion. So here if you look into here, the arteries is going to block the entire vein. So this is called as the branch retinal vein is being occluded. So that's why it is called as branch retinal vein occlusion. Okay, so I think it is like coming to the pathology again. There is a disruption in the once there is these kind of changes, there will be exudative changes which actually occurs. Okay, so here in this case what is happening here is, what is exudative is whenever there is an accumulation of kind of fluid or some contents, then it is called as exudative. So the exudative stage is where when the blood retinal barrier is disrupted. So that when there is a blood retinal barrier disrupted, there will be a necrosis. Necrosis is a death of cell vessels or loss of cells, I mean. So when there is a necrosis, there will be a exudation of a blood and lipids, same as how we had discussed in diabetic retinopathy. So just see, it is like whenever there is a leakage in the blood, or when there it is like when it is not going to be supplied, so then there will be ischemia, which is going to further lead to other changes, which is caused by hypoxic changes. So these are the major consideration which you have to think in. So exudative changes can be further classified into microaneurysms, hemorrhage, hard exudates and cotton wool spots. So we will just see further about these things later. So what I would suggest is, I would like to suggest you to have a read about pathologies so that we can discuss further about signs and symptoms. Okay, so